I'm super excited for you guys to join me today. This is one of the most important episodes I'll record on this channel. The fact that you're here, I promise you, the next 10, 15 minutes are going to be some of the most valuable time that you spend on your journey to grow your business to its peak potential. If you're here and you're watching this, let me ask you a question. What does your calendar look like for your business, your production schedule, or your install schedule 3 weeks out from now? Is it full of high paying, ideal projects that you've chosen to take on? Or are you staring at open slots? There's tumbleweed blowing through your calendar, and it feels like the world is going to end in 3 weeks' time. You're thinking, I really hope that something comes in. You're having to scramble to keep your crews busy, pulling jobs forward so that they can keep working. You're already in the back of your head thinking about like, what invoices should I pay now? And which ones am I going to have to, put off to a later date? The problem, for a lot of surface pros, whether you're in the stone business, tile, flooring, you've got a remodeling company or you're a material supplier. This is something that is crippling to businesses. The fact that they don't have any control over their ability to generate more leads or to ensure that their sales is going to be consistent. The only predictable thing for them is the uncertainty and the stress that comes with that. Now, when you're in this stage, we actually call this the survival stage spiral, right? You're really having to rely on referrals and word of mouth. And hope is not a strategy, guys. It's not. You need to get control so you can be in the driver's seat of your business. You don't want to have to be robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? You don't want to have to be pulling those jobs forward just to keep the machine moving, knowing that later down the road, you're going to pay for it, right? So if that's you, if some months, you're having to choose which vendors get paid and which ones get excuses, and some months you're finding yourself having to skip paying yourself just to make payroll for everybody else. This is an episode I want you to listen all the way to the end, save it, put it on repeat, and go get it. Implement the things that I'm going to share with you here because they're going to transform your business. And you know the story, right? Having to some months skip paying yourself just so you can make payroll for everybody else. And if that wasn't bad enough, you're having to go around chasing the few contractors that throw you work, asking them if they've got anything coming up soon. Is there anything in the pipeline? You got any jobs that I can work on? It's desperate, right? You're hoping somebody calls. You're hoping a referral lands. You're hoping somebody finds you on Google. Why is the phone not ringing? Hope, again, guys, not a strategy. And because of that, you're really limited in your ability to be in the driver's seat and grow your business the way you want to, right? You're not sure, can I hire that third, fourth, or fifth crew, depending on what level you're at, right? You can't expand to a bigger shop or a bigger showroom. You can't invest in the new trucks that you need or bring on a salesperson to help buy back your time and take the load off your plate because you don't know, is the work going to be there? Is there going to be enough to keep that person motivated? And you're stuck on what I call the revenue roller coaster, trapped in those feast or famine cycles. 1 month, you're struggling to keep up. It's so busy, right? You're flush. And then you're starving the next month. And because of that, you're having to be stuck making short term decisions when you should be able to focus on the long term, strategic decisions that you can make for your business because you have predictability and consistency. And so, all of this, it's also costing you not just money, but it's your peace of mind, it's your sense of confidence, and it's definitely that freedom that it's costing you that you thought you'd have from owning your own business, right? So, if any of this is hitting home, right? If this resonates, if you're tired of riding the waves, the roller coaster, as I call it, if you're tired of standing by waiting for work to come in, if you're tired of staying trapped in the survival stage spiral, then this episode is for you. Now, guys, my promise to you is that I'm going to show you exactly how to build a marketing machine that flips the script on your situation completely. And if you stay tuned in to our channel, whether you're watching or listening, I guarantee you that if you stay tuned in, you listen to future episodes, I'm going to unpack the exact strategies and tactics that have helped our client John to be able to generate an extra 100K in projects on spending as little as $1,000 on his ads. All right. I'm going to be sharing with you guys the things that our private clients invest in when they work with us directly that allows them to have consistent leads, that they're able to generate demand so that you're not just waiting around and you're in control. What would that mean for your business if you were in control? If you had full confidence that you knew what sales were going to look like for the next 90 days, right? So that's going to change the game for you guys, I promise. So stay tuned into this show. In future episodes, I'm going to show you exactly how to install the marketing machine in your business so that whether you're in growth mode, I know I've been talking a lot about those that are stuck in that feast or famine cycle. But if you're in growth mode and want to scale with confidence, this is also the exact same strategies that you would apply. Or if you're the person that I've been speaking to for the most part in this episode, trying to break free from that up and down roller coaster, then this is how you get control over your sales and your sanity. It all starts here. So hit subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube or follow the show wherever you listen to podcasts because we're just getting started, guys. All right, now, real quick, before I dive into the 4 key strategies that you need to build your marketing machine, let's just zoom out for a second. All right. The marketing machine is just one part of a bigger system that we call the growth engine. If you've been following the show, then you know that in every episode, I'm breaking down one of the 7 core systems that make up a scalable, sustainable business where you can go from reclaiming your time to building a leadership team to installing operational systems that'll allow your business to run like a well oiled machine. And now, this system, the marketing machine. It's what drives predictable sales. And it's one of the most important systems you need to have in your business because cash flow is the lifeblood of your business. So then, if you don't have control of your ability to produce cash flow, you're vulnerable, right? But with this system, and this system, the marketing machine, is what drives predictable sales. Without it, everything becomes harder. You can't plan, you can't hire, you can't grow. But with it, you unlock the ability to scale on your terms because you're no longer guessing where the next job's going to come from. So, guys, every episode on this channel goes deep into one of the 7 core systems of our growth engine. It's strategy first. So, if you want to build a business that actually runs without you carrying the whole thing on your back, then make sure you subscribe and follow along. Now, let's go ahead and get into the 4 strategies that you need to build your marketing machine. All right, diving into it, guys. Strategy number 1 is you need to leverage your market advantage. So, in a past episode, I broke down the system that's critical to install before you build your marketing machine is you have to unlock your competitive advantage. You have to nail your edge, which means what makes your business the obvious choice for the right customers. And it's never competing on price. In fact, we want to be able to charge premium prices, right? Because when you're leading with your market advantage and you're tapping into the pain points and the desires of your ideal customer, suddenly marketing gets a lot easier, right? And that puts you in the driver's seat. All right, diving right into it, guys. Strategy number 1 is to lead with your market advantage. Now, if you've tuned in to past episodes, you know I've broken down the importance of this system to have a true edge over your competition And that's where you're going to plant your flag in the market so that you can have a mini monopoly. In that episode, I break that down fully. So I highly recommend you tune into it. But the strategy here is to leverage it in your marketing, right? So that once you've nailed your competitive advantage, you're now going to get that in front of your ideal customer, speaking their language, nailing the pain points, frustrations, anxieties, and desired outcome that they want. When you can line that up, when you can nail that, your marketing gets so much easier. All right. So, what we're not trying to do is put special offers into the marketplace. In fact, our clients will put premium offers into the marketplace. So, instead of a discounted $3,999 package, our clients are putting out offers into the market for a 30K countertop or flooring package, right? We've even tested 50K. That's a whole separate episode for another time. But I just want to get you guys thinking that what I'm talking about is leveraging your market advantage, not so much of the traditional marketing that you see out there. All right. The second strategy is to pick one channel, master it, and then scale. Too many companies try to play what I call marketing whack a mole. They're going to one week be boosting a post on Instagram. They'll dabble with pay per click on Google, and nothing's really working. They get frustrated. They say, that doesn't work. And they go back to relying on referrals. Pick one channel, put in the reps, and master it, right? There are no shortage of channels that work, but most people never put in enough time in order to reap the rewards. It's as simple as that. Now, you might be asking, well, what's the one channel, right? Well, it depends on who you're going after. If it's retail homeowners you're going after, then we tend to recommend Meta, Instagram, and Facebook ads. And I'll explain why a little bit here, but in future episodes, I'm going to unpack it fully, our full strategy. If you're going after B2B, which is contractors, other trade pros, builders, commercial developers, then the channel that we use is direct email outreach. And again, I'll break down in future episodes our strategies for getting those to work. But why? Why do we choose, if we're going to focus on retail right now, homeowners, why do we choose Meta over Google Ads to start with? Well, the primary reason for that is I want our clients to have control. Google, you are capturing a portion, along with your competitors, of the piece of the pie of those that are actively typing into Google what they're looking for. And there's only so much to go around. Whereas on Meta, with a competitive advantage, with a dialed in campaign strategy, you can generate demand and you can capture more of the market and you can essentially be able to outspend your competitors on how many customers you're going to buy and how much of the market you're going to control and own. And the other reason is on Google, you can't necessarily lead with your market advantage, your edge, right? You're really optimizing for keywords and you're bidding on them. That's a lot different than being able to put your competitive advantage into the market and capture those that it resonates with. It's a major shift. Strategy number 3 is to go beyond just trying to do what marketers call bottom of the funnel campaigns. What does that mean? Bottom of the funnel campaigns means that you're going after the 2 to 3% of the market that is actively searching for what you offer, right? So if you're a flooring dealer, if you're a stone company that does countertops, if you got a tile company, there is 2 to 3% of the entire market that is actively searching for a company like yours right now. The other 97% is available, but barely anybody goes after them. Most people are fighting for the scraps for that 2 to 3%, right? They've got their Google pay per click and they're fighting over that 2 to 3%. or they're trying to rank, their website at the top of page one, which is getting more and more challenging right now. And again, they're fighting for the scraps of those that are searching where you're going to show up in the organic search results. You want to be in the driver's seat and you want to be able to capture the other 97%, those that are not in market yet, but they will be in consideration of a home improvement project. And when they are, you've already built that audience and are actively remarketing to them. That's where the big wins lie. That's how you're able to stack your pipeline. That's how you're able to win before those people even begin shopping. That's a massive shift. So, quick recap, guys, before we go to strategy number 4 is that you want to do full funnel marketing. You're not just going after the bottom of the funnel, you need top of the funnel, middle of funnel, so that you can capture as much of the market as possible. All right, now, guys, the final strategy I want to share with you is that you want to engineer for scale. You're building a marketing machine. And what does that mean? The definition of a marketing machine for us is you want to have a reasonable degree of control over your ability to acquire customers, and that you can, by putting more into the machine, you get more out of the machine. And far too often, companies will spend the exact same amount in their marketing year after year after year, and they wonder why they're not growing. They started off with $2,500 in advertising spend, and 5 years later, they still spend $2,500. The way you need to think about it is you are building a machine that allows you to buy customers, right? What if you knew for every $1 that you spent, you would get 10 back? Or in John's case, for every $1 he put into his machine, he's getting $100 back. If you had that kind of predictability, how much would you spend? That's the game. How much does it cost you to acquire a customer? Figure out what your ROI is, take a percentage of your profits and reinvest it back into the marketing machine. What you want to be able to do is you want to be able to buy as much of the market as possible. You're reinvesting profits into your marketing machine to grow your profits and be able to scale. When you build a true marketing machine, you don't just fill your calendar. You get to decide how fast you grow, what kind of jobs that you want to take on, and that's how you outpace the competition, because you can afford to show up more than they can with a competitive advantage that makes you the obvious choice. And that is what will transform your business. All right, guys. So here's your challenge. Look at your current marketing. Is it consistent? Is it scalable? Do you have control from what you're doing? Or are you still riding the revenue roller coaster? Because if you're serious about leveling up, if you're serious about being able to see your business grow to its peak potential, then I highly recommend you stay tuned into this show, because in future episodes, I'm going to be breaking down the exact ad strategies and structures that our clients are using to generate high quality projects and jobs without having to compete on price. But it starts with getting clear on your edge and leveraging it in your marketing, picking one channel and mastering it, and then going after the whole market, not just the now buyers. And when it's working, scale it, because the businesses that win aren't waiting for referrals, they're engineering their growth. So if you want help installing a real marketing machine in your business, head over to our website at drivenforgrowth.co and book a call with us to get started. Otherwise, hit subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, or follow the show wherever you listen to podcasts, and check out the description or the show notes for the deeper training and tools that we have linked below. All right, guys, until next time, stay driven for growth.